I'm gonna teach you how to take brown hair to platinum blonde hair in just one sitting. For this service, you would charge $705. Now, here's a little disclaimer. The only way you can charge $705 is if it's worth $705. So watch this video all the way until the end so that you know how to perfect this color correction. Before we get started though, make sure to subscribe to the channel so that you're notified whenever our videos go live. We post new videos on the first and third Monday of every month, and all of our videos are meant to help you make more money. We're either going to teach you about money, product, or hair. So when you're first analyzing someone's hair to figure out your game plan, there's really three things that you need to know. You want to know their texture, which is how skinny their hair strand is or how thick it is, whether it's fine, medium, or coarse. You want to know their density, how much hair they have. They can have a lot of hair or a little bit of hair or a medium amount of hair. And you also want to know their existing color. When I say existing color, you want to know the existing color of their entire hair strand. Let's say they said, I haven't been blonde in 3 years. Well, chances are they still have some blonde on the lower part of their hair. That's important to know because if you're going to go and put bleach on it, it is going to damage a lot more easier on the bottom part than it will on the rest of the hair shaft. So with Veronica's hair, she has a coarse texture, a high density, and she has all blonde underneath what's going on there. Right now, her hair doesn't look like the ashy brown that it once was because we let it fade out. But at the beginning, she had this really ashy brown color. And in order for us to achieve that color, we had to lighten her hair to about a level 9 so that all of the pigment was bleached out, and then we colored it back to the brown that it is now. So we have to be very mindful of all of those things as we start formulating. So how I'm gonna formulate Veronica's lightener is I'm gonna do 1 part lightener to 3 parts developer. The reason why I'm doing that is I want my formulation to be super creamy. Veronica's hair is really coarse and really thick, and that extra creaminess will help to keep the hair saturated as the hair is processing. Bleach will always stop processing or stop oxidizing when it dries out, so that extra creaminess will make sure that it just coats the hair for longer. The foiling pattern that I'm going to do on Veronica today is basically a triple head of foils because she wants all of her ends to be really, really light. So what I'm going to do is a slice, slice, weave pattern. The reason why I'm doing slices is because slices will always give you the most amount of light, which I want everything to be light. And then I'm doing a weave to create a shadowed root. Now, normally I would want to see a little bit more dark to create a real shadow, but we want to avoid putting in any artificial color, especially black. Virgin black hair is significantly easier to lift than artificially colored black hair. And because we want her to be platinum, we're just gonna err on the side of caution and allow her hair to grow into the shadowed root pattern rather than adding that black into her hair. With her hair, we're gonna start the foiling in the back. I'm gonna split the head into 4 quadrants. And the reason why I'm starting in the back is a triple head of foils will take me a decent amount of time to put in. Chances are by the time I finish the front, the back will be ready to rinse, and it'll be easier to rinse out that way. Also, I'm starting in the back because the hair in the back is a lot coarser than the hair in the front. What that means is the back of the hair can withstand a longer processing time than the front can before it starts to damage. When you're doing any sort of color correction, the integrity of the hair is the most important thing. If your client's hair doesn't turn out as light as they want and it's still healthy, they'll come back. If you give them white hair, but it's all damaged, they are not coming back. So I'm gonna start in the back and I'm gonna use really thin sections. The reason why I'm using really thin sections is so I can use the lowest volume of peroxide possible. That's gonna keep the integrity of the hair intact the best. I'm also gonna mix very little lightener at a time. The reason being is I wanna keep that bowl of lightener fresh. As air hits it, it'll start to oxidize and it'll lose its lifting power. Now we're gonna start with our very first section. What I'm gonna do is pull down a really thin slice. I'm gonna paint the lightener over everything that's brown and overlap it just a little bit so that it's into the black. I wanna make sure that there is no brown left in the hair. Otherwise it will leave a really ugly band of color. Then I'm gonna take down the next section. I'm gonna do the same thing where I'm covering up all the brown with the lightener, and then this time I'm gonna overlap it into the black a little bit higher. For this third section, it's gonna be a back-to-back fine weave. The reason why we're doing it back-to-back is because we want 100% of our ends to be a solid blonde. If you remember from the beginning of the video, we said texture is important. The reason being is the texture will affect what a fine weave actually looks like. Because Veronica has really coarse and thick hair, I have to make the weave a little heavier, and that's gonna look fine on her. If I was gonna do this thick of a fine weave on someone that had fine hair, it would look a little bit chunkier or more like a medium weave. So here I am doing the weave. I'm gonna bring this weave really close up to the scalp because this is what's gonna create that shadow effect that's gonna break up that heavy density of black that's in her hair. And then once I have that done, I'm gonna clip this foil up, and then I'm gonna paint lightener on the rest of her brown ends, and I'm gonna bring it up a little bit into the black. Now I'm gonna repeat that foil pattern all the way up her quadrant. So it's gonna be slice with a little bit of lightener into the black, slice with more lightener into the black, and then a back-to-back weave that goes right to the scalp on the top, and then on the bottom, just partially into the black. And you're gonna continue this all the way up the head and throughout each of the quadrants. As you're working through foiling your hair, you're gonna slowly start to increase the developer so that all of the hair processes at the same time. And I'll continue upping the lightener until I get to the front, where I'll eventually move to 3 parts of 30 vol, just so that it processes really quickly. Here is Veronica's hair all done. There are so many foils in this hair. It took me almost 3 hours just to get these in. You can see here, it's been processing for a little while now. The back foils are done. So I'm gonna take her to the sink and just rinse out the back. You can see how beautiful this blonde is. And you can also notice how healthy her hair is. No hair is falling out as I take out these foils. Now the front is done too, so we're gonna rinse out everything. You can see how beautiful and light this blonde is. We're gonna tone her hair twice a day, and the reason being is she wants to have a really clean color. Typically when you're doing a color correction, you're gonna be exposing some warmer underpigments. So the first time you tone the hair, it's gonna neutralize the color. The second time you tone the hair, it's gonna deposit the final tone that you want. So here's what it looks like after the first toner. You can see how beautiful and healthy it is. There's no flat irons or any kind of hot tools used in this. It was just power dried with some replenish. We're ready for the second toner.
Look how beautiful the second tone is doing. It's gonna be awesome.
Now I'm gonna style her hair with the hair repair kit. This kit is the best for processed hair. The replenish oil will fill in all the cracks and crevices, making it look like the hair is brand new. Look at how beautiful her hair looks with the second toner all rinsed out. We are gonna cut it though. Veronica wants her hair cut into a lob. Check out this beautiful shadowed root. The next time we go and do her hair, we will foil it a little bit differently so that we can leave more of that black to create more of a shadow. But because this is all the black that she has and we're unwilling to put some artificial black in, this is the best that it's gonna look for now. Look at how healthy her hair is too. There is no random chunks of hair missing from breakage. If you want to see this full hair tutorial in depth, head on over to masterhairacademy.com. So this is how we came up with the price, $705. It's a 3-head set of foils, so $145 plus $145 plus $145. The haircut was $85. We did 2 toners, which is $65 each. And we did a keratin treatment that is $55 for a grand total of $705. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to head on over to nvennhairbeauty.com to snag yourself some of these products to try because your hair will love you for it. If you're a hairstylist or a salon owner, email info@nvennhairbeauty.com and we'll get you set up with a wholesale account. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope that you learned something. Bye.